You want to be a YouTuber. Are you considering going to college or university to study television, film, media studies, or something along those lines? Is it a good idea? Well, the short answer is no. And I'm going to explain to you a few of the reasons why I think it isn't a good idea right now. But of course, like everything, there are some exceptions to the rule. I first started YouTube around 13 years ago. That's when I uploaded my first video, taught myself how to edit videos, use a camera, learn about sound, and all those kinds of things that go into making videos. And I did all that just learning through YouTube and online, so if I needed to know how to video edit, I just looked up how to use Premiere Pro. Although all the way back then I was using Sony Vegas, and I've used a couple of different ones over time. It's really easy to find out the information you need. You want to be able to do something? Google it. Now, after I'd done YouTube for a little while, I kind of had this brainwave where I thought, wouldn't it be a good idea to go to university? I had to go to college first for 2 years, and then I went to university for 3 years. I thought maybe going to college or university would be a really useful thing, get a qualification, it might help me improve my YouTube channel. But the truth is, it didn't turn out that way for me. Doesn't mean it will for you. I'm going to go through some of the reasons now, the pros and the cons. I believe that there's two types of people. There's people who are self-motivated, meaning they can work independently, they can go away, learn things on their own. Or there's the other type of person who is willing to learn, but they maybe need a bit of structure in their life. They need somebody to poke them with a pencil or prod them and just kind of guide them. So we'll call them person A, self-motivated, and person B, people who are not motivated, self-motivated. Now, I'm not saying one is better than the other, but of course, certain ones have advantages, other ones have disadvantages, and one might be more suited to university than, say, the other person. Now, I'm in the UK, so I had to do 2 years at college. I did media studies, and then I did 3 years at university studying television. So it was for 5 years. And at this point, when I first went to college, I'd actually already started my YouTube channel. It maybe been going for about a year. I'd kind of learned video editing and all the kind of things that go into making a YouTube channel. Bearing in mind, this was like 2011, so not many people understood YouTube, and really even now, people still don't. Now, I went to university as a mature student. I'd always kind of wanted to go, but I never really knew what I wanted to do. When I started YouTube, that's what kind of led me on that path. Now, I thought, if I go to university, maybe I'll meet like-minded people, which never really happened. Maybe I'll learn something new, which never really happened. The second type of person maybe has an idea they want to do YouTube, but they're not necessarily the kind of person who's going to go out there on their own accord and really learn. They need a bit of guidance. Like I say, there's nothing wrong with that. It's just a second type of person. You have to also consider the other advantage of going to university is obviously leaving home. You don't have to just leave school if you're older like I was, and maybe be in another job working 40 plus hours a week. It's then hard when you come home from that job to find the time to make videos. Whereas if you're at university, you have a lot of holidays throughout the year, you have a lot of spare time. Maybe you could run a YouTube channel while being at university. Now that didn't work out for me. Kind of put that on the back burner because I was doing other things. I kind of got distracted in life like you do. You make new friends, you go out drinking, you maybe have a job as well. And when I was at university, I studied television production. I kind of went with the theory that television is kind of like YouTube. There wasn't actually a course to become a YouTuber. It's like an ongoing format where over time, like I thought that would transfer into skills that would be relevant to doing YouTube. I think if you did film studies, to me, that's less like YouTube because you're just making a short film. Definitely when you're at university and you see the people on the film course, people on the television course, totally different types of people. I think people in film tend to be making just one-off short films. They have one idea and that's it. People in television are just better. Now, one thing that shocks a lot of people when they actually go to university, I'm not sure if this is more a modern thing. You are kind of already expected when you get to university to have some kind of knowledge, especially in like television production, how to use a camera, how to do video editing. You will do like little training days. You might get 2 days learning how to use a camera. You might get 2 days learning how to video edit. But then the rest of the time, like you might only be in 2 days that week. You might only have like a few hours learning something. Then in your spare time, you're expected to go away and actually learn how to do it yourself in your own time. And a lot of people can't wrap their heads around that. People get angry about it. It's like, I paid all this money to come to university, That's not what university is about. You do a lot of things, not just one thing, and in your spare time, like I say, this is a mistake people make. They think, I've only got 3 lectures this week. Stay in bed, go out drinking, do other things, explore big cities. And it's like, actually, in your free time, you're supposed to be in the library learning, you're supposed to be learning about how to use a video camera. Now, don't get me wrong, you will actually learn a lot. My course was 50% practical, 50% theory, and I really benefited from learning theory stuff that I maybe would never have looked at of my own accord, just understanding different things. I don't know, like I always remember one term we did like media law, and I always thought, oh, this is something really interesting that I never would have looked into. A bit like about copyright and things like that. And it wasn't just, related to television. There were certain case studies where I was like, this is really interesting, but it's not necessarily something I'd want to do as a degree. But for a short period of time, it's like, oh, this has kind of opened my eyes to another world that I didn't really know about. What you've got to ask yourself is, could you spend the next 5 years getting an advantage? Say you live at home still, could you spend 5 years yourself learning online? Even if you like a bit of structure, you could do like a Skillshare course, or you could find everything for free on YouTube, or you could pay thousands of pounds for a YouTuber to give you that advice. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. Like say you can get it for free, it just depends. If there's somebody who you really like and trust, you maybe want to pay for their course and then be like, follow that along. And in 5 years' time, I definitely guarantee that you'll be a lot further ahead than somebody who's went to university in some ways. You also have to remember you won't necessarily be in the same amount of debt. I mean, it might cost $100,000 to go to university. It costs me about £9,000 a year, plus then about the same for rent. Student accommodation is really expensive. So my debt after university is about £60,000, which is not too far off the American system now. Something else that might surprise you is when you're in your final year of university and you come in to write your CV and stuff and apply for jobs, they'll tell you in a media degree, your kind of education goes right at the bottom, small font. It's not really important because people genuinely don't care if you've got a degree. I mean, you could work in a Starbucks. If you applied for enough jobs in TV, as long as you can show that you work hard, you'd get in. You don't necessarily need to go to university. So on your media CV, you kind of have at the top your most recent experience. Maybe you've done running, maybe you've done internships and all those kinds of things. Or if you've got a YouTube channel, be like, I've got a YouTube channel. I can do this, this and this. I made a short film. It won an award, blah, blah, blah. And then right at the very, very bottom, it's like, I went to university, blah, blah, blah. No one cares. It's all about what you've actually done. Which is why it's like another plus side that if you already have this knowledge that, you could be learning to video edit and do YouTube, but you could also start doing things like Fiverr and Upwork and earning money that way and learning these skills. And you can start putting those kinds of things on your CV without actually having to go to university. Now, don't mistake what I'm saying that one thing is better than the other, going to university, not going to university. Only you know what's right for you. When I graduated, I actually went on to work in television for a few years and it wasn't for me. So I kind of went down the path where I was like, want to do YouTube, want to go to college, university, and then I worked in television and I was like, actually, I kind of wish I was back doing my own thing, because one thing I learned when working TV, it's like YouTube is your thing. You make the videos, you come up with the ideas, you can edit them, you can have as much control over it as you want. Television, especially at the start of your career, it's like you're just doing what other people want you to do. It's no different really to working in say like a shop or a supermarket. You're just one person. There's nothing wrong with working in a shop. I'm just saying you're one person, you may be doing one tiny part to get to the point where you would be making the television shows or your ideas would be the television shows. Could take you 10, 15 years to work your way up and up and up. And I was like, you know what? I'm living in London, spending all this money on rent, accommodation. I was like, I'd rather just do something else. And when I came back home, found another job working in the gig economy, and I started doing like freelance video editing, and that kind of worked out all right for me. I was like, as long as you're happy in life, you can make enough money to get by, that's enough. Like, what more do you need? I always say, as long as you're doing something you enjoy, then you pretty much won at life. If you go to work and you're miserable, but you're earning a lot of money, that to me is worse than say earning less money, but being happy. And obviously now I kind of thought, do you know what? I wish I hadn't give up YouTube. So what you really have to consider, if you're the kind of person who's self-motivated, is going to save you a lot of money in the long run to just do it yourself. Try it yourself, start a YouTube channel, get going with it. And even if your YouTube channel You don't get millions of subscribers. Could you then branch out into other things? Like, let's say you have another business idea. Would having that YouTube channel benefit you earning more money because you took the skills to learn how to have a YouTube channel to promote yourself? Are you the kind of person that needs direction? You feel like you need to go to university to really give you that push? You could do a course still at home, pay a bit of money, get someone to teach you through like an online course and structure, but obviously that costs a lot of money. Are you going to have to work from home, get a job, and then you're going to be like, oh, I'm working 40, 50, 60 hours a week trying to do a YouTube channel? Doesn't go well. Have you got the opportunity? You're 18, maybe you still live at home with your parents. They're like, yeah, that's fine. If you want to be a YouTuber, take a few years and see how it goes. Only you know the answer. It's something I wanted to talk about because obviously in my life it was a big thing. Started a YouTube channel, failed, went to university, failed, started another YouTube channel, failed, started video editing, now I'm on YouTube again. Things just don't always work out the way you expect. And if you enjoyed this video, then do check out my next one. You might enjoy it, you might not. But if you take a look, do let me know.